Khloe Kardashian, one of the most outspoken members of the Kardashian-Jenner family, has always been a subject of public scrutiny and curiosity, especially regarding her relationship with her siblings. While the family is frequently in the media spotlight, Khloe's bond with her sisters, Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner, has often been the subject of conversation. One particular issue that Khloe has addressed on multiple occasions is her discomfort with the term half-sisters being used to describe Kendall and Kylie, despite the fact that they share a different father, Caitlyn Jenner, while Khloe's father was Robert Kardashian. This stance has led many to wonder about the underlying reasons behind her dislike for this term, especially given the familial dynamics and how public perception often shapes the way people view their relationships. Khloe's perspective on this issue is not just about semantics or an aversion to certain terminology. Instead, it reflects deeper feelings about family identity and the public's tendency to oversimplify complex relationships. To understand why Khloe despises being labeled as having half-sisters, it's essential to explore the family's history and the nature of their bonds. Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie grew up together in a blended family, where the lines of biological connections often blur in the context of shared experiences and mutual affection. Despite having different fathers, the three sisters were raised alongside one another, and their relationships were shaped more by the shared environment and love than by genetic ties. Khloe, in particular, has often emphasized that family is about much more than just blood relations. Her connection with Kendall and Kylie is no different from her relationships with her full sisters, Kourtney and Kim Kardashian, or even her brother Rob Kardashian. In many of Khloe's interviews and public appearances, she has expressed how hurtful and reductive the term half-sister can be when applied to her relationship with Kendall and Kylie. To Khloe, the label fails to recognize the depth of the bond they share. It doesn't reflect the years of growing up together, supporting each other, and being there for one another through life's ups and downs. She has made it clear that the term half only highlights a technical detail that, in her eyes, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of familial ties. This sentiment is also tied to Khloe's own feelings of identity. Throughout her life, Khloe has often been in the public eye for reasons that have nothing to do with her actual personality or the things she values. Much of her public life has been defined by her physical appearance, her tumultuous relationships, and even comparisons to her sisters, particularly Kim. In this context, Khloe has had to work hard to carve out her own identity, one that isn't solely tied to her family's fame. By rejecting the label of half-sister, Khloe is also rejecting the idea that her family relationships should be defined by external labels or assumptions. She is asserting her right to define her own narrative and to be seen for who she is, rather than being pigeonholed into a label that doesn't reflect the complexity of her familial ties. Another layer to this issue is the public's tendency to create narratives around celebrities and their families. In the case of the Kardashian-Jenners, the media has often oversimplified their relationships, treating them as a spectacle rather than acknowledging the nuances that exist behind closed doors. The term half-sister feeds into this simplification, reducing Khloe's relationship with Kendall and Kylie to a mere technicality, when in reality, their bond is rooted in shared history and genuine affection. Khloe, like many others, believes that the term diminishes the emotional reality of her familial ties, reducing them to something transactional rather than the deep emotional connections they are. Khloe has been open about her struggles with body image and how her appearance often became a point of public criticism. Being compared to her sisters, particularly Kim, who has often been the object of public fascination for her looks, has caused Khloe a great deal of pain. She has spoken about how being labeled as the less attractive sister, even within her own family, affected her self-esteem. In this context, Khloe's desire to eliminate the half-sister label can be seen as part of a larger effort to redefine her role in the family. It's a way for Khloe to affirm that she is not just some outlier or secondary figure in the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty. She is an equal with her own story, and the connection she shares with Kendall and Kylie is just as real and valid as any other sibling relationship. For Kendall and Kylie, the term half-sister may hold a different meaning. While they may not have the same shared history with Robert Kardashian as Khloe does, they have also grown up in a household where the boundaries of familial relationships are often fluid. Their lives were shaped by their connection to Caitlyn Jenner, their father, but they too were deeply influenced by their bond with the Kardashian siblings. As such, Kendall and Kylie might not see the distinction between full and half as significant, given that the lines between the two families have always been blurred. However, Khloe's objection to the term half-sister likely stems from her belief that such a label inherently divides them, turning something that is meant to be a source of love and support into an artificial categorization. In her efforts to build her own identity, Khloe has consistently fought against the pressures to conform to societal expectations. Whether it's about her body, her career, or her relationships, Khloe has always been one to challenge assumptions. Her stance on the half-sister issue is just another example of her rejecting the labels that others try to impose on her life. Khloe has made it clear that family is defined by love and experience, not biology. She wants the world to see that her relationship with Kendall and Kylie is as authentic and meaningful as any other sibling bond, and she will not let labels strip that away. This issue also highlights the complexities of blended families, particularly those in the public eye. The Kardashian-Jenners have been the subject of public fascination for over a decade, and in that time, the media has often oversimplified their lives for the sake of easy narratives. The term half-sister reflects this tendency to reduce complex relationships to soundbites, glossing over the nuances of individual experiences. In this way, Khloe's rejection of the label is not just about her own family, but also about the larger societal tendency to reduce people and relationships to categories that don't accurately reflect the realities of their lives. Khloe's perspective on this matter also speaks to a larger cultural conversation about the significance of family dynamics. In a world where blended families are increasingly common, the importance of defining family in more inclusive terms is becoming clearer. Khloe's rejection of the term half-sister is a reflection of a growing movement toward recognizing the fluidity and complexity of familial bonds. Just as families are no longer just defined by biology, neither should sibling relationships be limited to the narrow confines of terms like half or full. Khloe's stance is an important reminder that family is about connection, shared experiences, and love, and that these qualities should be prioritized over technical labels.